Establishing data uplink from the SES Wings of Democracy. Transmitting data log for Day 29 of the Galactic War. Hello again, Data Archive. Today we have received a new major order from High Command. The Automatons have taken control of Tianquan, where factories were about to roll out the EXO-45 Patriot exosuits. To ensure that there are no delays with rolling out this stratagem, as well as making sure it does not fall into the automaton hands, Tianquan needs to be liberated as quickly as possible. Control of Tianquan was lost at approximately 900 Earth supertime, starting with a liberation rate of 50%. In the first 8 hours of the effort, liberation was increased by 6.5%. And in the last 8 hours of the day, over 300,000 superdestroyers rallied over Tianquan, increasing liberation by 32.3% in 8 hours, increasing liberation by 38.3% over the course of the day. It appears Tianquan will be liberated in the early hours of the next day. In the later hours of the day, a terminate outbreak occurred once again on Angel's Venture, spreading Super Earth forces very thin between Tianquan and Angel's Venture. Starting at 1436 Earth supertime, superdestroyers deployed to Angel's Venture to defend the planet. The defense against the terminate is very back and forth, with the majority of superdestroyers currently being deployed in Tianquan. It is advised that once Tianquan is liberated, all superdestroyers report directly to Angel's Venture. On Day 28, Fenrir 3 was the only foothold for Super Earth in the Umlaut sector. With the attack on Angel's Venture and Tianquan, very few forces can be deployed to Fenrir 3. At the beginning of Day 29, Fenrir 3's liberation was at 73.5%. In the starting 8 hours, liberation would decrease by 1.1%. In the next 8 hours, the attack began on Tianquan, causing many superdestroyers to leave Fenrir 3, overall reducing the liberation rate by 9.3%. Once the attack on Angel's Venture began, even fewer superdestroyers were left in Fenrir 3, causing a very significant amount of liberation to be lost. At the end of Day 29, liberation was decreased by 36% in Fenrir 3. On Day 28, Ustotu was lost to the Automatons, and the liberation effort was going very poorly. Starting the day at 41.6% liberation, the trend would not change going to Day 29, losing 8.5% liberation in the first 8 hours. As soon as the attack on Tianquan began, things turned for the worst. Ustotu was completely lost at 1600 Earth supertime. The liberation of Dropnir has been going quite well for the past 2 days, starting Day 29 at 57.1% liberation. In the start of the day, liberation was only reduced by 1.3%. But once forces were diverted to Tianquan, liberation reduced dramatically, 34.3% in the next 8 hours. Over half of all superdestroyers deployed to Dropnir were moved to Tianquan. It would only take 3 more hours of liberation to drop to 0% on Dropnir. Dropnir's liberation would decrease by 57.1% on Day 29, causing the planet to be lost. Unfortunately, Malevolent Creek would also be victim to the same fate as Dropnir. Malevolent Creek started Day 29 at 29.7% liberation. The opening hours, as expected, would decrease liberation by 6.5%. In the following hours and the beginning of the attack on Tianquan, forces would deplete in Malevolent Creek, causing it to be lost and losing 23.2% liberation. Much ground was lost on Day 29 with significant attacks by both the Automatons and the Terminids in the same day. High Command has advised that new weaponry and stratagems will arrive next week, provided that Tianquan is liberated. That is all for the recording of Day 29 Data Archive. We are deploying Helldivers to Tianquan to finish this liberation. End recording.